And just like that, a brand new arc begins. What's up, guys? That's Logan Pencil here, and here we are to do a breakdown / live reaction and review to chapter 47 of Kagurabachi, which is known as, it's literally on the first page. I just can't look at the first page for editing me purposes at this very moment in time, but regardless, I'm very, very excited. Last chapter ended up getting us into this new arc, the sword bearer assassination arc, real quick, like real quick, like to the point where I'm actually kind of bamboozled how quick it is. But you know, this is Kagurabachi. It's a series that I thought was gonna be a meme, but I'm not just seeing it get love with like my comment section for the people who asked me to review it, and now I'm finally reviewing it. I'm not just enjoying it, but like bigger creators I've seen are talking on Kagurabachi. So like, so far the meme is real. Like, soon enough, once I got kids, we may actually be looking back and being like, darn, Kagurabachi was one of the greatest to ever do it. But of course, we're still early on, supposedly. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Heading me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. It ain't another fun fact. I'm not kidding. Like, the fact that we immediately leaped into this is crazy. I guess it does make sense, though, because there couldn't be too much downtime between arcs. Mainly because, like, how do you justify that in universe? Like, especially with the main villain group, the Hishaku, already revealing that, okay, time for step 2, big dog. We already completed step 1. We got the Sazanami clan. They reclaimed the Shinichi. They're gonna do everything we want. I know the mole in the organization is telling us everything we need to know. Let's get crazy. Let's get moving. So naturally, the Hishaku aren't gonna wait. And naturally, our characters and crew would have to respond. And ironically enough, they're actually very lucky they responded when they did and got really enough. When I think about it, got Chihiro in the scenario where he almost got banged because if he wasn't automatically there when the fortresses were attacked and that guy hadn't, bam! I know you're holding court over this mysterious son of Kunishiki Rokuhira, but the blade bearers, they're under attack. I think legitimately things would have gone deviously, and or they'd be behind on their immediate attack strategy. The only person I'm worried about is Hakuri. As many people have theorized, I saw in the comment section of the previous video, he may just like be experiencing some of, or like a variation of what in JJK terms would be called curse technique burnout, aka his ability still may be on cooldown. Like, remember, his storehouse is very baby sized. Like, not baby sized, it wasn't the same scale as the original storehouse where there are multiple platforms, multiple sizes. He had that one spot where like all the tools were sitting. So we're in a very dangerous spot. But let's see. Overall, if I had to quickly rank these sword designs, the sword bear designs, it was kind of generic. So I'll put him at 4th, put him at 3rd. Nah, I'll put her at 3rd. She looks generic too, I ain't gonna lie. So honestly, it literally just goes in this order. Like 4, 3, 2, 1. Honestly, with these sword designs. Something about scars on eyes and glasses. That's all it takes. I'm a simple man. And he wields a sword. Shoot. He just like me, for real. But let's actually hop into the first chapter of the Sword Bearer Assassination arc. So the real question is, are any of them gonna make it? Like, notably, after they just got Soga up out of here, I'd legit be surprised if any of the sword bearers make it through this arc. Then again, I guess some of them have to. I'm assuming the main one that's going to make it, or the main one that's going to survive to become a threat later, is the Shinichi wielder. But I don't think we're going to touch on them for a while, because we have 4 separate sword bearers to go through. So this may end up being the longest arc in Kagurabachi, following the previous longest arc in Kagurabachi, which I would say is the Sazanami clan arc. I guess, technically, maybe the Soga. I need to go back and compare chapter lengths. I'm not sure which is longer, the Soga's arc or the Sazanami clan arc. But let's see what's happening now. Ooh, I did see a glimpse of this color painting. This is gas. If this is the main crew, hold on. Gosh darn it. I literally looked up your name yesterday when I was recording the Kagurabachi video, please. Don't you hide from me. Kagurabachi. Not the Wikipedia. I need the wiki. Come here. Characters. Yes. Give me them all. Don't you hide them from me. Yes. What's his name? Mihara. I specifically said I'd call him Mihara because I didn't think I'd remember Tofuku. I didn't remember either of them. But if this is the main crew now, if this is gang, Hiyuki, Mihara, Shiba, Hakuri, and Chihiro. If this is squad, if we really running a 5-man band right now, bro. Oh yeah, for something good, because I like all these characters. It's rare. It's rare for me to like have a solid, favorable opinion on like an entire main cast. If this ends up being our main cast, who knows? Because technically, Hyuki's specialized in like a rare, powerful agent. So I wouldn't be shocked if they sent her separately. But then again, obviously, the sword bearer safety is their top priority, considering what it means, considering the fact that the Hishaku already have all the enchanted blades. They execute any of the sword bearers, they no longer have any sort of leverage over the Hishaku. So maybe this is at least for the sword bearer assassination arc, I think will probably be about at the minimum 30 chapters. This may be our 5-man band, and the 5-man band looks clean. I'm excited. Especially considering we have a spatial manipulator slash lightning user. I guess that's what you describe Iso, a teleporter, a flame bearer, and ironically enough, another separate dimension user. So we're in an interesting spot, obviously, with the Wielder of N10. The blade that can kind of do anything. But let's see what's going to happen in chapter 47, Uruha. Uruha. Ooh, oh, so we're going, interesting. We're going for my number 2 first. Let's see. I'm not gonna, oops, I went too fast. Yoji Uruha. If I'm pronouncing this wrong, please let me know in the comment section, because I'm scared. Let's see. Yoji Uruha. No, I feel like I can't say Uhala. Yeah. I think my brain is going Urahara from Bleach, but Yoji Uruha, contracted owner of the enchanted blade, Kumeyuri. Interesting. Do I have a blade that has a similar hilt to that? Nope. Nope. Let's see. 18 years ago, that day. Oh, the day Mr. Rokuhira entrusted me. Oh, wait, this is supposed to be their voice. What voice do I give them? They're likely gonna be a character who needs a serious voice, considering they're probably gonna be speaking a lot. Mysterious design, probably somewhat lanky. What voice do I give you?
I'm the fastest in the universe. I'm the fastest in the universe. I'm the fastest in the universe. 18 years ago that day, Mr. Rokuhira entrusted me with Kumeyuri.
Uruha, this blade suits you.
It was the high point of my life. I had fought hard in the Seitei War. Seriously, Mr. Rokuhira is incredibly cool. There aren't a lot of people out there with that kind of ironclad composure.
Urahara, this blade suits you.
Those eyes of his. Unreal, right? I know I've said this a bunch of times, but fighting for that guy was the greatest honor of my life.
Uruha, this blade suits you.
As soon as the war was over, I voluntarily returned the enchanted blade to Mr. Rokuhira per his request. After that, he disappeared. I didn't hear a word of him for 15 years.
Okay, so we got somebody who's feeling some type of way about Kunishige and Rokuhira. Okay, I see you. Kunishige, I mean, he looks solid enough. I mean, who am I talking about? Bro's got a better goatee than I have a beard, so let me not knock his hustle. Plus, he was jacked and juicy. Big old mystical, magical blacksmith. Obviously, maybe he did have a couple people feeling a certain type of way. We know he was a goofy fella, a pretty silly dude, or at least by the time he was racing Chihiro. That's entirely likely. Who knows? Maybe Mr. Kunishige Rokuhira was a bit of a heartthrob. Maybe he had people going left and right for him, up and down. He had certain things going up and down. Let me stop. But, interesting.
What?
A group called the Hishaku killed him. They stole all the enchanted blades. Already killed Misaka, the bearer of Cloud Gouger. Yep. They'll come after each warrior contracted to the enchanted blades, so they can use the swords they stole.
The Hishaku. The Hishaku.
They're enemies of the state. If they're able to wield the enchanted blades, this country will be destroyed. This country you fought so hard to protect. He's depressed because Rokuhira fell. And now, once again, I always like whenever there's a down bad character, or at least I'm assuming they're gonna be a down bad character. Maybe I should give him a goofier voice, but I kind of like it's a mix of Orochimaru and Birder, if you couldn't tell. Like that's where my brain is immediately leaping to. And ironically enough, it's Orochimaru as in how it would voice Orochimaru, because I can't actually, like, it sounds weird, but I had a whole talk with my friend recently, my best friend, about like perception and how our brains visualize things. Personally, when I think of things, I can like picture them, not like perfectly see them, obviously, because they're not in front of my eyes and to reflect them. But with like things I hear and things I see, I can replicate them in my head. So like when I think of TFS Birder, I can literally hear TFS Birder, but that or in my head, and it's hard for me to replicate it because my vocal cords can't do the same things that that particular voice actor did, and I forget who voiced them. But for example, for my Frieza voice, I can hear particularly. I haven't watched that run back of, or their rewatch, TFS's rewatch of their own series, so I forget who did it. I'm only thinking of the main actual voice actor for Frieza, Chris Ayres. Martin, I think they called him Martin, the guy who did the voice for Frieza in TFS. I hear that voice, and then I try my best to replicate it based on what I can hear. But my friend, he can't do any of that. He can't picture anything. Like, I asked him, what do I sound like to you? And he's like, you sound like you, but I don't know it's you until you speak. And I'm like, you can't like hear me. It sounds weird saying, oh, Pencil Man, do you hear voices in your head? Do we need to call somebody? But no, you don't. Hopefully. I do review manga on the internet, so maybe you do need to call somebody. But still, I hear what things sound like based on my memories, and I can replicate and think of images and what people look like or would sound like in my head. Like I'm thinking of my cousin right now. I can perfectly picture them in my head. I'm thinking of my uncle, my aunt. Like I can picture them in my head because I've seen them enough and my brain has like registered that data. But he's a person who can't do that. He can't picture things in his head and he can't hear them. Notably, he mentions he doesn't even have like, well, no, he does have an internal voice. It's just monotone. Meanwhile, my internal voice is also like flatline. It doesn't actually sound like me, but then again, when I hear me and I hear me on recording, and then when I hear what other people say I sound like, I don't hear it either. So what my voice actually is versus what it sounds like in my head versus what it sounds like to other people, fundamentally different things. But that's how I do my voice acting recollection things. I think I visualize characters and I adjust my voice accordingly. So that's why I say all that to be like, oh, ultimately this seems like a down bad character. And I do have a voice for down bad characters, but no, you're going to be a watered down Berta. But let's see. Oh, I won't let that happen. This time, I'll protect you. The Kokugoku Fortress is a natural hot spring in the northern Toyama Prefecture. I live there in seclusion from the outside world, protected by 14 elite Kamunabi fighters. Every day, I bathe in the same pools with the same people. This ain't so bad. Hey, by the way, there was a message from headquarters. Oh, yeah, see, you're beat up. So I'm sticking with the voice. Even if they're down bad for Rokuhiro, I'm sticking with the voice. Hey, by the way, there was a message from headquarters. A 7th enchanted blade. And Mr. Rokuhiro's son? They haven't ascertained whether he's actually Rokuhiro's son or not. He must be an imposter. The nerve of that guy, claiming Mr. Rokuhiro's name. How can he be so sure he's not really his son? I'm sure Mr. Rokuhiro could never take care of a kid. I was ready to die at any time for 3 years after. And maybe this is also a me thing just in general though. Like, I struggle to idolize people. I don't know why, but like some people be like, especially I remember when Matt Pat first announced he was leaving YouTube. I think it was a few months back. I think it was like right before the start of summer. He announced that he was leaving YouTube. I saw a bunch of people make videos about it. A bunch of people were crying, and a bunch of people were like, he's my idol. I looked up to him. I praised him. And like, I get the idea of looking up to people. Like, I looked up to my parents and like certain content creators, but like people were crying that they were done. And I'm like, is that deep? And once again, I never met Matt Pat. I watched a lot of his videos when I was growing up, but like, that's about it. So I didn't feel things emotionally in the same way people were feeling things emotionally. And like, for example, how can I think of like a direct linking example? I really can't. Yeah, I really can't, because it's nothing specific. Like everything I got that I think would have emotional significance would either come from my parents, which I think that's a bit more normal to like idolize, look up to your parents. But the reason I'm thinking this is kind of crazy is because like, it doesn't seem like he had too deep a connection or relationship with Konoshige. Uruha, but maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there was a more extensive bond that I don't know about between Uruha and Konoshige. Let's see.
After I learned of Mr. Okuhila's death, I lost my will to live.
Invaders! Mr. Uruha, this way! They're wearing the emblem of the Hishaku. Report to headquarters. Those are enchanted blade spirit energy reactions. They got some weird weapon. Honestly, we have no hope of beating them, but we can buy you some time.
But you know what? I don't blame them. It's kind of like, for example, if I was walking down the street and someone who was 7'5", straight rippling muscle, raw gains, came up to me and said, "Throw hands or give me your wallet," I'm giving them my wallet. Like, no matter what, unless I'm with someone I care about and they're threatening lives, and they're like, "Hey, I want that, your life, and I want their life too." Then I'm gonna have to be like, "Oh, well, shoot." I'm gonna pull up that same scenario there where I'm gonna be like, "Yep, I'm gonna buy you some time." But 9 out of 10 scenarios, I'll be real. Sometimes you do know you're just gonna lose. You're gonna lose a fight. It's just basic. For a less violent example, you ever been playing a fighting game and then the online rank system just doesn't like you? So even though you're like a Super Saiyan Blue rank, randomly, because you don't have same level locked, you get put against a Xeno player, and you just sit back and you're like, "Oh, I'm really not going." Happened to me before, all the time. Let's see. Run! We can't let him take your life. Yeah, let's see. Oh, but he did run. I'm actually shocked, considering he had no will to live, supposedly. Well, I guess maybe out of respect for the people who sacrificed his life for him. 8 kilometers from Kokugoko Hot Spring. You know why I'm struggling? You know why I'm struggling to say that and not something else? It's because of the character who I'm not even sure I say their name right, because I pronounce a lot of names from different manga wrong. Kogyoku from Manga. One of my favorite characters from that manga. One of my favorite female characters from manga in general. Kogyoku. Kokugoku. It's very similar, and it bothers me, and it hurts my brain. Let's see. 8 kilometers from Kokugoku Hot Spring. Head for the Otoko Station. We'll contact headquarters and have them send you new bodyguards immediately. Uruha. New bodyguards? Who could they possibly send if these guys weren't tough enough? It would take warriors at least on the level of Azami or Hiyuki. Well, ain't that specific. Let's see who shows up. Oh, but that's interesting. So that implies... I forget if it was implied before, but that implies that Hiyuki and Asami are on the same level. Nobody don't mention of Shiba. Then again, it's implied that Shiba may have... Well, no. Shiba defected a while ago. So maybe he knows of the defection. What's it? The station's nearby. And there's no sign of the enemy. Where are my protectors? This is bad. I thought you had nowhere to live, buddy. I'm shocked you ran. What's it? Excuse me. You're Mr. Uruha, right? Show me your insignia. Oh, so he doesn't. Okay. So he has a blade. I thought maybe Hakuto was wielding a blade. Oh, right. You're my protector. You're my protection. How did you know it was me? You're actually pretty conspicuous. No, I'm pretty sure that's Hakuto saying you're actually pretty conspicuous. There is one other guy, but we split up to look for you. The situation looks dire. Huh? They're here. Oh, darn. Well, yeah, it makes sense. They blew through everything. Though I guess they don't have, well, who knows how long it's been. I guess they don't have that specific of a time limit, though. The one that... I want to call him Tamari, but I don't think that was actually the name of Hakuto's brother. Hakuto's brother. I think they're twin or something that was implied to be. They had a very short time of using the Enchanted Blade power. So if these are the same sorcerers that initially attacked the fortress and they're using Enchanted Blade-based reactions, it looks like Tamari may have gotten a prototype or weaker version of the drug. Also just a test subject in order to refine its kinks, so they can use them and presumably resuppress them, considering we don't see any magical auras being shown here. Meanwhile, Tamari seemed to show off every single magical aura. Let me stop calling them Tamari. I have their name. I'm not sure if I'm going to mention them again, but let me at least be polite. Sazanami clan. Tenri. Not Tamari. Not Tamari. Let's see. They're here. 3 of them. No. 4 sorcerers. Can you kill them? I mean, Right now? Probably not. Let's see.
What sword is that?
It's an ordinary self-defense sword.
Yeah, it's not a mystic blade. Let's see.
Hakuri, you're special. Normally, there's only one kind of spirit energy in a person's body, and it's limited in capacity. So, if you seal an eternal contract with an enchanted blade, the price you pay is losing your original sorcery. So,
My brain, I read that, and then my brain was like, oh, interesting. And then it immediately had the moment of replaying it in his head and was like, wait a minute. So if you seal an eternal contract with an enchanted blade, the price you pay is you're losing your original sorcery.
okay. So essentially, maybe if you have multiple, because technically, but then again, he's the son of, and likely knows some secrets of creating enchanted blades, but that makes me wonder, is it literally impossible to technique stack? Like, I know technically Hakuri is unique in the fact that he can use two different types of sorcery, but like, hypothetically, could one Zoro mystic blades if they really wanted to? The enchanted blades, could they put one in their mouth, put two in both hands, and then just while out? I wonder.
I genuinely do wonder, because that seems interesting. It's entirely possible that that is a possibility, and if so, I smell something in the future. But that person would presumably have to have massive amounts of spirit energy. Let's see.
So, those eternal contracts. So, with those eternal contracts to the enchanted blades.
So those
with eternal contracts to the enchanted blades are basically defenseless. No enchanted blades, no sorcery. That's why they need bodyguards.
Uh-oh. Gang squad, get back! I'll protect you! Yeah, this is the thing. It's too quick. He's not, like, they didn't even let bro fully clean up or heal up. Like, he still has open wounds on him. Dog. What did they think was gonna happen? Go! Hey, what's wrong? Uh-oh. I'm gonna spread Uruha's cheeks.
We'll give our lives so you can escape. You better survive now, or we'll curse you.
Roger that.
Oh, okay. So they still clean with it. No enchanted blades and no sorcery. But I didn't say nothing about them being able to throw hands.
That's okay. Okay, Uruha, let's go crazy then. Roger that. Boom! Arm gone. Hakuri, how are you being the one being protected, broski? How is this happening? Let's see. Slice off the arm removal with one swing is crazy. But then again, maybe these guys aren't the enchanted blade wielders. Maybe there's just random mooks. Let's see. Ooh, grab the hat. Ooh, throw the hat to blind them.
You know, especially now that JJK is ending soon, I think we're gonna get like Gotomoto days. Kagurabachi's fighting though. It is fighting though, for some of the cleanest choreography, use of character designs, use of different types of weaponry. If we get more non-sword wielders, I know we already have Hyuki and we have Shiba. I know we did have Tenri. So and obviously we have Hakuri too. It really depends. It may, like, the big three of crazy action may just become Kagurabachi, Sakamoto Days, and Jujutsu Kaisen. In terms of sheer action.
Because this is clean. Throwing the hat at somebody to block their vision before they can use sorcery, and slicing your hat and them straight down the middle so you can, with the blitz over the dome face. Oh, that's so clean with it.
My apologies. I was not familiar with your game.
But let's see. Boom. But oh my, all three? Who's the one doing the protecting here? What is this? But then again, it is implied that they fought a long, long time before getting the enchanted blade from Rokuhira, from Kunishige. That may flat out imply that ultimately they may have never had sorcery. Or at least their sorcery wasn't something they relied on to the point where they're this proficient with a regular blade. Like legit, I don't have a blade that has their enchanted blade design. But like, this is all they have. And sure, a blade's a blade, right? Like, this one is sharp. So, yeah, you swing it hard enough, you could slice. But even if I were to randomly swing this at somebody with all the force I can muster, I'm very likely not cleaving through their bodies. I may not even cleave through their bone, like their initial bone. Obviously, if someone were to block with their arms, they may like cleave slightly into their forearm bone, but that's about it. So the fact that a rusty Uruha is slicing through these goons, that's crazy. But that also explains how they survived so long. Let's see. Shoot, I'm a bit rusty. Oh, he took out 4 sorcerers with just an ordinary sword? That indeed. They're not using the weapons they had at the fortress. Maybe they're limited in number. Or maybe there's some other restriction. Well, there better be. Yeah. Oh, that could be an interesting thing. They can't activate the enchanted blade buffs for more than like maybe twice or thrice a day, and or they do just have limited timers. Like notably, and I need to start streaming it, I've been playing Black Myth Wukong. And minor spoilers for the game. Once again, I personally didn't watch any of the trailers for the game, so this isn't much. But naturally, like every game ever, there are abilities in the game that run on cooldown timers. Maybe that's how it works. And ultimately, to avoid it happening to Henry, where they, perished while using the Mystic Blade buff, maybe they need to toggle it on and off, and then wait a certain cooldown timer before it's safe to use again. And of course, we're probably going to see a character, if that is the case, we're probably going to see a character who turns it on and then like risks it because they're going to die anyway. Let's see. There he is!
Hey now, how many of you jerks work for the Hishaku? It's endless.
I may switch with their voice. You know what? I'll actually leave this up to y'all, because we're probably going to be following this character for a while. Out of the voices I can do, or voices you'd recommend, or even tones of voice you'd recommend, how would you guys let me to voice this character? Based on their design, I went for the more soft burner, light Orochimaru look, and from their lethality, maybe I was right in that. But if you guys think that voice doesn't work, let me know. It could be fun. I do want to have more engagement with y'all, and I think a good way would be choosing the voices, considering I kind of just freestyle most of the time. Let's see. The doors are closing. Hey, get on! Oh, well, they got on.
Oh, brother. They're everywhere.
I mean, yeah. You are pretty much their main objective at this point. Like, you might as well just keep throwing mooks at you. But I guess maybe, like, resource-wise, maybe they'd stop after a little bit. But who knows? The Hishaku seems to be very, very deeply rooted into the nature of this world. Let's see.
They're everywhere. Looks like we're surrounded.
No, actually. They are. I recognize those bubbles. Oh, he's just so clean with their element. Especially once again, when the manga first got leaked, like flat out leaked, I really just took it as straight meme fashion. Nah, what do the cool kids say these days? Roku Heroes got aura. Shihiro's got mad aura, and with bubbles. With water droplets, like lightning screams aura, fire screams aura. Like Yuki's got mad aura. I'm gonna start spamming that word, but like those characters, they got aura. Now teleporting has aura. That warping of space, it's clean. Bubbles? Since when have bubbles had aura? Since Chihiro Rokuhiro decided to start using bubbles. And he straight blitzed them. Oh, he's so clean with it. Nothing gets me more hyped. Alright, I see it, bro. Locked in. Why is the drip so clean? Let's see. Pleased to meet you, Miss Uruha. My father spoke of you often. My enchanted blade. An enchanted blade. But this guy, he must be an imposter. We'll take over as your protectors. We promise not to let you die. It's here's the thing. I do look much more like a carbon copy of my mom than I do my dad. I have some of my dad's features, and like some structurally enough that my family have been able to point them out. And notably, ironically enough, I do look like there are 2 of my cousins who are straight carbon. Well, actually, I think both of them are older than me. I know one of them for sure is older than me. I think the other one is like a month older than me, because of course they are. But technically, I look like a carbon copy of 2 other people in my family, specifically from my dad's side. But none of us look like, literally none of us look like our respective fathers. At least not deeply. I mean, kind of. Someone does, but I guess that technically I look like their dad. But then again, when I look at pictures of them next together, I don't. But essentially, I've never really had a situation like this where someone looks directly at me and then sees my dad. Typically, people who know my mom will look directly at me and be like, "You." I've had that scenario happen a bunch of times. He's
I can fight for your sake again, Mr. Okuhira.
Huh? He might be kinda screwy. I'll stick with his voice. Maybe I give him more down bad voice, but alright. A worthy chapter. I'm liking it. Well, no, I'm loving it. But yes, I actually do really like this chapter. A good introduction for the start of the arc, showing the threat of not only the Hishaku and their potency and their level of forces, whether they just keep coming out of nowhere with random fodder, but at the same time, well, that does establish their depth of reach within inside this world in this version of fiction. I want to say, I think it's Japan. Inside this variation of Japan, it also did a good job of establishing the threat of the sword wielders themselves. And especially considering, once again, they are enchanted bladeless, I was actually kind of worried that the characters would sort of end up being fodder, but it looks like Hokuzono Sensei went right out of their way from the start to show that, yeah, of course our 5-man band, or at least this duo right here, may go absolutely crazy protecting them, but at the same time, they themselves are not innately useless. At least one of them so far has proven to be extremely powerful. And actually it does make sense, right? These guys are all war veterans, so presumably they would have to be decently powerful, but considering they're war veterans, seemingly extremely reliant on the enchanted blades, we didn't really get to see it. So to see Uruha crashing out like this, fantastic. The obsession with Kunishige, well, I personally cannot relate to it in the way that I try to relate to a lot of things in anime and manga. I can see it because I've seen it before. I know people who are dedicated to people who they will never meet. But with that being the case, I like them and their personality and their dedication. And I can't wait to see more of it. Hopefully it doesn't go full creepy. Like I've seen characters like this go before, but this is just their first chapter. This is their first introduction to his kid. They did doubt the existence of his kid. So overall, I'm excited to see what's about to go down. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave snake skin, as in like the skin of a snake, in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon below, or you can support me for as low as $1 things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member to the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks will include the live reactions to every other series that I happen to review, ad-free variations of all my videos, and if you become a $25 patron or a $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, I have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below, where you can drop 5 beans for a short video, 25 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Other Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members: Sierra, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, NMA, Real Rare, Red Wolf 4765, Paris Arnold, Astro, Brandon Payne, and G Prosper. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, Josh Brown, Igneal Lind, and A+A. And I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our $7 members: Autumn Mornings Lazo, Fine, Zombie Hunter, and Austin Wimberly. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 members: Robbie Uchiha, Jay Warrior, and AZ Void. Then I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our $10 patrons: Overlord Zero, Joaquin Munoz, and Idem Okami.
And I'd like to give the craziest, juiciest, most next-level, quadruple, sloppy, toppy, next-level superhuman in beyond this world kidney having thank you to our $100 patron, or that guy with a pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.